What's up guys, it's Prime Time to Rhyme with the Dark Drummer, and today I'm talking about realism in gaming. and the reason I'm talking about this is I recently had played a little bit of Battlefield Bad Company 2, and I really did like it. And I think one of the main arguments for Battlefield is that it's more realistic than Call of Duty. That's the main reason why people wanna buy it. And you know, there obviously there are a lot of examples of like things not being realistic in games. How if you sit on a bench in Assassin's Creed, the guards won't notice you anymore. Or in Call of Duty, how I think according to Drifter, the bullets come out of your head instead of your gun. You know, and then like you can pull out your knife almost instantly. So you know that obviously there's a lot of examples. But we can't just really talk about realism in one aspect. I mean, realism really depends on what kind of game you are talking about. Because if you're talking about a more arcadey type game like Mario or Pokemon or excuse me, maybe things like more recent games, I guess, like Devil May Cry or Mortal Kombat. Obviously, things like that. You don't want to talk about realism because those things are really aren't based on realism. They're not trying to do anything with the real world, really. Devil May Cry is kind of real. I mean, you know, the two different worlds. Anyway, so realism really depends on the type of game you're talking about. You can't really say realism is whether it's good or not. So realism can be good or bad. I guess in a game like NBA 2K, you're obviously gonna need realism, because it's a basketball game. But I think what I really wanted to talk about today is not just but mainly can there be too much realism? Can a game be too much like the real world? And that's it's kind of a weird topic because obviously this is more of an opinionated topic. Can a game be too much? Because it depends on whether you like the game. If a game's too realistic, that means that you think it's too realistic, not that it is. But let's go back to the 2K reference. Can a basketball game be too realistic like basketball? Now, first thought is no. If you can get it perfectly realistic, then that's perfect. It's just like basketball. But then again, it might not be as fun of a game. Because think about it. My player, think about that. If it was super realistic, absolutely realistic, then your my player should have to work really hard to train before he even gets to that summer stage where he has to go with a bunch of other rookies just to see if he makes it into the NBA. Before even that, he has to train even more, and even if you're really good, the chances are slim. So then, if it was really realistic, a lot of your my players might never even make it to that stage, and that might make for some sucky gameplay. The fact they have to make like 15 my players in order to even get to the pre-stage of getting into the NBA, and I don't think a lot of people even want that. Another thing, injuries. You can't just if injuries are really severe, you're gonna have to skip a lot of games. I mean, I don't have 2K13. I'm not sure how all the systems work. But yeah, and if they're super realistic, they might have to take out the fact that you can like skip over. Well, if you're sitting on the bench, you can skip over the game and you don't have to watch it. I mean, those are some ultra realistic things. Those are I think when people talk about realism, they more talk about things like graphics and more gameplay wise, like you know what I mean, like realism, like how the player would shoot or how defense works, things like that. Real core gameplay, not all this other stuff I'm talking about. But if we're talking about perfect realism, these things come into play, and you're really making it right like real life, not just the gameplay, core gameplay, but in game as a whole. And obviously it might not make it so fun, even for a game like 2K, where realism is the ultimate goal. Too much realism might be bad. Let's move on to another game. popular game, Call of Duty, what you're watching right now on the screen, um, can realism be too much? Obviously, realism is a big complaint about this. Like how, like that's not real. That would never happen in real life. You can't just do that. Panic knifing doesn't exist. Things, all that kind of stuff always is the major complaint. But think about if it was, knifing. If that was more, I don't think there would be a huge complaint if knifing was more realistic. If it took a little bit longer, that wouldn't be a huge complaint. Um, what about the guns? Think about it. What if there was more realistic recoil? What if the snipers had bullet drop off, just like in Battlefield, which got this discussion rolling? You know, what if or instead of person after earning kill streaks, because they're a big part of the game where you have to get kills, earn kill streaks. Not realistic. I mean, your base, in the real army, your base doesn't demand that you kill 5 people, or if you want to get an airstrike for your team. I mean, if you do, then you should really complain. But anyway, if that doesn't happen, kill streaks are a big part of the game. It's a main objective of the entire, for most people, it's a big objective for the game. Like I want to get this kill streak, I want to get that kill streak. And in Battlefield, kill streaks really aren't a distraction because there is no kill streaks, so people actually go for the objective a little bit more, which is kind of good in my opinion, but that's another discussion. Can realism, like, so all these examples, realism, can it be too much? Me personally, I think it is. Now, the core gameplay, I'm not sure, but see, a lot of these things I've been talking about aren't really core gameplay. So leave your comments about your opinion about realism. If it can be too much sometimes. If it can never be too much. If realism should be the ultimate goal, whether or not the things I mentioned are in the game. It's really a big opinion. But I'm the Dark Drummer. Like, favorite, subscribe, you know, all that crazy stuff. And peace out. What is up, guys? It's the Dark Drummer, and don't forget to check out my other channel, Modern Learnage. Great stuff over there. Don't forget to check out Cloud Will's channel. Don't forget to subscribe and bring goodness to the gaming community. Peace out.